Welcome back, beer tubers. Ryan here, back with another episode of San Diego Beer Vlog. Joined in person once again by Beerchi Tuba, joining me here at my house here in San Diego.
That's right.
And we're gonna look at a beer sent to us from Kevin in Tampa. It's from Cigar City, his local brewery. This is their Guava Grove 8% farmhouse ale, saison style. They age it with guava, and this is a pretty fresh ball of this. Kevin sent me an older vintage that actually kind of went a little sour, which actually was quite good. But we're going to take a look at a fresh version of this. So let's get it open and nice. Pour it out here.
All right.
Okay, so we got this poured out. This is really, really hazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah, very cloudy. Got quite a bit of carbonation going on.
Yeah, a lot of carbonation, like just hazy orange. Mm-hmm. Pretty bright white, maybe slightly off white, kind of eggshell head on there.
Yeah, eggshell sounds good.
I mean, at least a finger, but let's get the aroma on.
Smells nice.
Yeah, it has that saison sort of like authentic, like funkiness.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yep.
It's like not a Brettanomyces kind of funkiness, like wild yeast. It's got that kind of earthy saison funk going on.
Yeah, very much like a farmhouse kind of. I'm surprised. I thought it would get quite a bit of fruit guava, which I mean, there's some fruity sweetness, but it definitely smells like traditional saison.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of fruit, but a little bit of spice.
Spice, maybe a bit peppery, but not more so.
Yeah,
spice.
A little pepper.
This is a bit
like completely different than the aged bottle that he sent me, which had that kind of like tart character to it. This one's like really kind of funky saison, pretty traditional smelling actually.
Yeah.
With a little bit of that kind of fruity guava character, but let's dig in.
All right. Cheers. Wow. Wow, that guava really fills up your mouth.
A lot more on the flavor, right?
Yeah, a lot more on the flavor. It's very full bodied.
A lot of carbonation kind of attacks your palate up front.
Which helps, because if it didn't have as much carbonation, you definitely would get a lot more guava juice.
Yeah, it really cleans your tongue. But it's not too stinging. You know, sometimes Belgian beers can be really stinging with the carbonation. Mm-hmm. This one's actually pretty rounded on the palate, I think.
Yeah, and it feels like the bubbles are quite big too. It's on the bigger side. Because like a lot of times, certain Belgian styles, the carbonation is very very tiny.
But up front, you get a good amount of sweetness. That guava kind of makes appearance right up front. A lot of like pear, apricot kind of fruitiness to go with the guava. And then as I drink it, I get more of that saison yeast funkiness kind of coming through. That earthy, slightly spicy note.
Yeah, and it does end with this, some dryness at the end, for sure. Because you have a lot of sweetness right up front. Which makes it very interesting, very full body, but it has that saison dry finish, which is nice. But I think that helps give a balance to it too.
Yeah, this is really well balanced overall.
Yeah.
But for 8%, where's the alcohol in this beer, right?
Yeah, that's the very thing I was thinking. It's actually unnoticeable.
It's so drinkable for 8%. No alcohol in the smell, none in the flavor. Really scary drinkable stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's got enough that like it's really like fruity. It's kind of borderline tropical fruit.
Oh, I definitely get quite a bit of that. It's like a nectar kind of.
Yeah, obviously you get the guava, but there's some other stuff going on that kind of plays off the guava, and then it has that like stone fruit character, like you know, that kind of peach apricot. It has that kind of character to the beer. That works really well with the apricot, and it's got that Belgian-y kind of funk, that barnyard.
Yeah, barnyard farmhouse.
But not, like I said, not the Brettanomyces kind of funkiness. It's got that just really earthy, like it feels like this beer was made out in the middle of nowhere in a farmhouse type of beer. So they kind of nail that yeast character with this beer. So I've been drinking on this a bit more. I really, really like this beer. Although I wish there was a bit more guava character for being so fresh. I wish there was a tiny bit more. But the guava the character blends so well with the base beer that it works out fine. and I'm gonna go A- on this one. This is great American saison. You know, they add that kind of fruit component to it that, you know, guava. I mean, you don't see that in hardly any beers, and it's really drinkable stuff for 8%. Great yeast character, good kind of sweet. There's some sweeter malt notes in there to kind of play with the nice fruit notes, and just balances out really, really well.
Yeah. If you guys see any of my videos, you know I kind of do like a double rating system, just because I don't know, because certain people may rate it higher than others, and I think I'm gonna go towards a B+ with this, but then sort of like A- as well. I was kind of going back and forth between those two. That, like Ryan said, I could use a little more guava and guava character to this beer, although it's still a very good example of a saison as far as the other characters, besides the full mouth feel of the guava fruit. But yeah, I think I could use a little more guava in this, but I mean, aside from that, I think how it's made and how it's crafted and how well the alcohol is hidden is just quite spot on. So it's like a very good B+ for me.
So that's going to wrap it up for the Guava Grove from Cigar City. It's always a treat to get Cigar City beers out here. So big thanks to Kevin down there in Tampa. Check out the ball there. Yeah. This is the newer version of this. Just really appreciate it. Glad we were able to do a collab review on this. So thanks for joining me on this one. You guys check this beer out if you want, like American saison with a little bit of a twist. This is a good example of the style. So
yeah, thank you, Ryan, and thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, so it's gonna wrap it up. Till next time, please comment, subscribe. Cheers.
Cheers.